looking live at sold out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. Why do Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Or if anybody spends any time at all watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So if I see something in there, as soon as I see it, I try to respond to as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, instead of me just rambling on for 30 minutes all by myself, it's nice just to talk to somebody else. So please feel free, fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below is a top link. It takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I could use all the support I can get, guys. Oh, here comes my dog. He wants to get in. Oh, I gotta move the chair. Oh, sorry, buddy. There you go. All right, now life's good. I moved the chair for him. I gotta start patting him and everything. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. Thank you. And then finally, in the description box below, there's 2 Facebook links. Okay, that first one, the top one, takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. And basically, I say this all the time in every video. My YouTube channel, my Facebook group, and my Facebook page, it's all called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. That way, a moron like me, I can remember. I don't gotta what's the group called? The page called? It's all called the same thing. That way, it's nice and easy for me. What do we got? We have over 3,100 members in the group. I'm just looking at it right now, okay? And it's 7 days a week. I'm always putting stuff in here, 7 days a week, whether it's a post, a picture, a video, something making fun of the Eagles. I always try to make sure I get something, make fun of the Eagles, almost like pretty much, best I can. Pretty much like every day if I can, and all kinds of stuff in here every day. I try to get, if I can, like up to like about 10 different items in here. But the thing is, if you become a member, not only do I put stuff in here, but the members put stuff in here as well, too. So there's a ton of New York Giants information going into the New York Giants, the Gridiron, the group, okay, every day. Then the second Facebook link, okay, in the description box below, takes to my page. Okay, it's a Facebook page. It's called New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's a page. I'm the administrator, so I'm the only one who puts anything in there. But it's the same thing, 7 days a week. What do we got? We have over 1,100 people who like it, and we have over 4,500 people who are following the page. It's really doing good. It's really taking off. Actually, it's weird because I started the group I'm going to say maybe a little over a year ago. I started the page maybe 7-8 months ago, whatever. And the page has more people following it than I got people in the group. Weird, but it's the same thing. I try to get like up to 10 things in here every day, whether it's a post, a picture. I got all kinds of stuff in there. Stuff showing Colin Johnson. We signed possibly the backup. The DeVito, the Illinois quarterbacks, a picture of him. Apparently, I don't know. Looks like Coach Dave's might have been hitting the vape pipe maybe during the draft. Maybe things were getting a little tense there for him. Picture Jalen Hyatt, picture Mark Bavara signing some autographs, all kinds of stuff in there every day. It's 7 days a week. and I don't commingle them. So basically, whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group for the most part. Okay, and it's the same thing. Anything I put in the group, I don't put in the page. So if you go to the page and you like it and you follow it, and you go to the group and you become a member, between the two, okay, you get a ton of New York Giants information every day. And I say all the time, if you go to the page and you like and you follow, and go to the group, become a member. If you're not satisfied, you get your money back guaranteed. All right. Well, all that stuff said and done and out of the way with, I'll tell you, it's funny. I mean, it's sort of like, out of whatever it was during like last year, like, Saquon turned down like maybe $12.5 million a year. Then he turned down $13 million a year. Now I've seen like reports now maybe turned out like maybe $14 million a year. Where we got here? But it looks like they're hopefully going to be returning back to some talks, because Shane did reach out to his agent. So this is CBS. Actually, I seen it was CBS, but there's a couple other reports I've seen it too. Giants and Saquon Barkley set to restart contract talks. Apparently, it says here the running back was offered $14 million per season per report. So how true that is, once again, you don't know. But it just seems like every time I start seeing another report, it's like he was offered. Like next week, maybe they'll have a report coming out he's offered $15 million. But the one thing, I mean, I guess the sticking point was, let's see, it says with the 2023 draft now, and this is from CBS Sports, the Giants will resume their efforts to try to re-sign Saquon Barkley, which would be huge. Sexy Dexy and Saquon, which would wind up being huge, because you want to get that long-term contract, but then not only that, but get their initial first-year cap hit, bring it down. Now Saquon's set to make, if he signs the franchise tag or he plays on the franchise tag, a little over $10 million. Well, I mean, they're a little struggling for some money right now. So I mean, two prime candidates, right, would get signed. Saquon to get him a 3-4 year deal, and get the sexy one, get him whatever, at least 4 years, if not 5, right? Whatever you can get for him. And get them and get their initial cap hit and just bring it down. Now, I had it up here. It said, Saquon's at $10 million, right? So, I mean, it would really be obviously to their advantage. Let's see, that's 20. I'm trying to get the cap hit. But, I mean, if they could work something out with Saquon, as I said, because, I mean, if they could get his initial first year, if they can sign to a contract, and get his this year's cap hit come down to like $4 or $5 million. Okay, that would be huge. All right, save ourselves, maybe like $5 million toward the cap hit. There's guys that they could let go and stuff like that. As I said, Darnay Holmes is a prime candidate if he doesn't, not that he did horrible, but I mean, if they would have let him, I mean, we got a lot of guys. Okay, we got a lot of guys. Okay. But if they were to let him go, Darnay Holmes, they would save themselves almost $2.75 million. So that's a lot of money if they were to let him go. But I see who we got. Where's Sexy? There he is. He's set to make $12 million this year toward the cap. Okay. So get him to that long extension, whatever it is, we'll get him up, whatever he's going to get, 22, 23, 24 million a year, whatever, 20. I don't know, if he's going to get 25. I hope if he gets it, cool. Go for it, brother. But instead of the 12.4 million cap hit this year, bring that down to like 6 or 7. So if you can save 5 or so on Saquon, 5 or 6 or so or whatever on Sexy Dexy, now you got 10, 11 maybe right there. Okay, which would wind up being huge. As I said, they can, they maybe let a few guys go, or maybe, as I said, maybe Darnay Holmes, or a couple of Shane Lemieux. There's a couple other guys I can wind up going over, but they'll let them go. They would save themselves even more money. So, but the top two, as of right now, let's see what they can get with Saquon, and when they say what they can get with the sexy one, right? That would be huge. Okay. Not only that, but then lock the freaking guys up. right? These are faces of your franchise. These are guys you want around. Lock them up for, for whatever, 3 years, 4 years, right? So you can, we signed Daniel Jones. We can put that behind us. Okay, let's sign Sexy. Let's sign Saquon so we can put that crap behind us too, right? But the thing was, it said New York had reportedly made Barkley an offer that would have paid him an annual average salary of $14 million, and it's not so much the average salary. Now, I mean, it made 14, and the thing is, if he plays in every game and he stays healthy and all that, he'd make $14 million a year. Okay, the thing is, what you want to look at, so it's not so much the 14 as you want. What's the guaranteed money? It said the deal structure and the guaranteed money prevented that deal from coming to fruition, right? So, they're hopefully going to try to start working, back, getting some dialogue going between the two. So hopefully, and I said, what do we have? Till July 17th, I believe it is, for them to get a contract. So they have like 2.5 months. You can get a lot done in 2.5 months. You can get a lot done in 2.5 hours. So they still have plenty of time to get something done. Now, the thing is, it's kind of like here with Christian McCaffrey, okay? He was making $64 million here. 4 years, $64 million. Average annual salary is basically $16 million per season. But he was guaranteed at signing $30 million. But then there's another stat here. It means practically, practical. Let me hold on. I've seen this here. Practical guarantees. Okay. It would wind up being his practical guaranteed is $38 million out of the 64. So I think that was 59% if I did that correctly. 38 divided by 64, 50, a little over 59%. So, I think he's I think that almost 60% is like at the top, because Alvin Kamara is 75 overall. His practical guarantee, okay, his guaranteed at signing was only about almost 23 million. His practical guaranteed, which I'm going to go over in a minute, is almost 34. So let's see here. So he got I'm sorry, my bad. So we got what did I say? 34. This is for Kamara. Divided by 75. He's only 45%. Okay, so Christian McCaffrey was almost 60. Kamara was 45. Dalvin Cook is less than that. Dalvin Cook is guaranteed, practical guaranteed. I'm going to go over that in a minute, is 28. But Cook, 5-year deal for 63. He's only making $12.6 a year. Okay. So we got, let's see here, divided by 63. So he's at 44%. So Kamara and Cook are relatively around 44, 45%. Derrick Henry, his practical guaranteed is $25 million, low 25.5. He's making $50 million. Okay. Nick Chubb, okay. Let's see. He's got $20 million practical guaranteed. Okay, divided by, he was making $36 million. So he's at 55. All right. So, they gave Christian McCaffrey almost 60% guaranteed money. Now, I'm just kind of wondering, like just say they were giving Saquon 14 for 4, right? 4 years, 14 million average salary. So basically $56 million. Okay. So if they were guaranteed half of that, see, you don't know what the guarantees are, how it's structured, what the guarantees are. Now, if he was guaranteed half, which I think would be fair, because some of these guys are at 45%, 40, a little bit more. Derrick Henry was at 50%. Somehow Christian McCaffrey is almost 60%. But so you got to figure that, 45%, they got to guarantee at least, 26, 25, at 14 million, right? Say 25 of the 56. So, I don't know what the sticking point is. The salary cap is going astronomical. Next year is, I don't know what they're supposed to be next year, 240, somewhere around there, 240. Some TV money's supposed to start coming in. The cap's supposed to go up, and You know what I mean, you know, you worried about a couple $1 million here or there. I mean, we're giving quarterbacks, you know, 160 million. You know, I hope they can get something done with them. But I mean, you figure so the guaranteed money, whatever that was, that's what that possibly fell through. Hopefully, they can guarantee him a little bit more money. I mean, whether it's 50%. You know, which would be give him 28 million guaranteed, or maybe they can give him 30 million guaranteed. But there's guaranteed at signing, and then there's practical guaranteed, which winds up being practical guarantees are those down the road provisions in contracts. When full guarantees were said, all right, practical guarantees, they essentially suggest that a free agent signing today likely won't be cut after one season. So basically, what it means is the practical guarantees, I guess, would be like, you know, if you sign Saquon and he have, you know, obviously, you know, they guarantee him money, but then there's practical guarantees, meaning, I guess, if he winds up staying on the team for a period of time, that he won't be cut after one season. So basically, I guess there's guaranteed money where, you know, and then there's practical guarantees. So like, for whatever the reason, if they sign Saquon, okay, and for whatever reason they cut him after one season, well, then the practical guaranteed money wouldn't be, you know, as high, or it wouldn't be there. I mean, you know, they would have to go to the guaranteed money. Because for the most part, when you sign somebody, you know, to a nice contract with big money and all that, you plan on keeping the guy for at least a couple of years. Now, there was they pointed out here, Kyle Van Noy signed a 4-year, $51 million deal with the Dolphins. Now, this is a couple years ago. This article came out, but he signed a 51-year with the Dolphins. Van Noy's 2021 salary of $12.5 million would have been fully guaranteed if he was on Miami's roster at the start of the league year. Okay, this article is from a couple years ago, but they cut him. Now he's back on the Patriots. Okay, so you know they you know, I guess he was on the team for a year. They cut him. He went back with the Patriots. So his practical guarantee number did not come to pass, shall we say. They owed him, you know, the guaranteed money is guaranteed money, but the practical meaning is that they're the kind of thing, okay, if he winds up being on the team for, you know, I guess 3 out of the 4 years or all 4 of the years of the contract, whatever, then the practical guarantee that all that money, you know, they would wind up getting. But I mean, if for whatever oddball reason they sign somebody to a nice juicy contract and they cut him after 1 year, well, then all the practical guaranteed money doesn't come. They don't get. So, but I mean, I just hope that you know, for whatever reason they come to you know, they come to some kind of agreement. Oh, Terrence, welcome to Saquon. Yeah, I hope they get something done with him. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just, you know, he's so much more than just a running back. You know, I mean, he's the face of the franchise. Who's the freaking face of the freaking, excuse my language, the franchise? Daniel Jones, come on. Sterling Shepard, Andrew Todd, come on. Huh? Saquon, come on, right? Had the support. Thank you, Bell. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think you're my first. Thank you. Much appreciated. Greatly appreciated. Thank you. You know, I mean, come on, Saquon, right? Saquon. I mean, the guy's been a model, freaking model person, right? You know, I mean, I mean, there's OBJ's well known, you know, for some reasons, for good reasons. He's well known. Well, I mean, you know, who do you pay your money for? Let's see Daniel Jones throw a couple screams now. Let's see Saquon, right? Absolute, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if you can't come up with a 4, 5, 6 extra $1 million to give that guy, shame on you. I'm not saying, hey, let's go to Gurley World. Hey, the dude wants 17. Yeah. I mean, we need to come in the middle. If you want 16, we want to give you 12. Let's meet at the middle or something like that. If the money, we got money coming out our yin yang here, right? I mean, going forward, the salary cap's going up. Well, we offered you 25 million out of the 56 guaranteed. You know, come on, give the guy 30, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's another weapon. He's a running back. I get it, but he's a weapon. You know, I mean, you know, we got Hyatt out there. We got Wall. I mean, I can almost go on and on and on. We don't have maybe the greatest wide receiver group in the whole league, but but then you got Saquon in the back. Somebody else they got to worry about, right? I mean, if you got Waller going, Hyatt taking off, and you got Wandale, you got Colin, you got all these freaking guys, with Kafka and Dable with their freaking crazy mind going on, drawing up all kinds of plays and stuff like that. Then you got to worry about Saquon, right? Running the ball, right? I mean, that's what you need. You need weapons. He's a weapon. Give the freaking man his money. Plain and simple. So I hope they can work something out. Or you want 18. But see, that doesn't make any sense because it's like, what did he say? He said last year, I'm not looking to set any, I'm not looking to reset the market. Well, the reset 16 is the market. I mean, right? I mean, you got Sanders left at the Eagles, right? He's making like $6 million, I think, or 6.5. I think Dalvin Cook was possibly close to maybe being cut or something if he didn't take a pay cut or whatever. I mean, the market's not, they're not getting paid. I mean, yeah. But as I'm saying, say if he wants 18, I mean, you got to, it's got to be some give and take here. Hopefully they'll work it out. I mean, I heard 17. He wanted 17. Now, of course, once again, this is all hearsay. You don't know. Somebody could write a report up and say, hey, he wanted 20, but I mean, hopefully they can work out something because he's special, and I said, I hope they can really work something out. Then we got, here's a no-brainer. They picked up Andrew Thomas's 5th-year option. I mean, that's like a no-brainer. So now Thomas is under contract through the 2024 season with a healthy pay raise as well. Good for him. Freaking guy deserves it. He'll make $14.175 fully guaranteed in 2024. The next step will be to begin negotiating a long-term extension for Thomas to lock him up as well beyond the 2024 season and make the 24-year-old franchise tackle a Giant for the foreseeable future and hopefully for the rest of his career. Hopefully, whatever, 10 years from now, we're still talking about Evan Neal on the right side and Andrew Thomas on the left side, hopefully, right? That would be fantastic. The thing is now what they don't want to do is just start doing everybody's contract right now. I mean, let's if we can, I mean, let's get Andrew Thomas, let's get Sexy Dex. You want Saquon? Let's whoever they can. I mean, I don't know if they can do Xavier yet or not. Well, going into this year, I think they can. I have to check on that. But what you don't want to do is start redoing everybody's contract this year. Because what you're going to do is then this year, all the cap hits come down. So now you're saving some money, but that's fantastic. Well, then what happens next year? All the cap hits go way up. So you want to try to balance it out. You want like a little Sexy and a little Saquon this year, and maybe a little Andrew Thomas and maybe Xavier Kinney next year, and then maybe the year after that. You start working with a couple other guys, right? And then then obviously then that 1 year, you got to put aside some capital and all that, and you got to start thinking about Kayvon and Evan Neal. What are you going to do with them? But you want to, like every year, you want to do like a contract or two and a contract or two, because you want to, because if you work something out with Sexy Dexy and Saquon this year, the cap hit's going to come down, which is fantastic. But next year, the cap hit goes up. So when their cap hit goes up next year, that's when you want to be working on Xavier McKinney and Andrew Thomas's. Sign them maybe long term. So their cap hit next year comes down, right? So when their cap hit goes back up in 2 years, that's when you want to work on whoever, right? So you want to keep staggering it. You don't want to like sign everybody right all in 1 year. So that would be like that would be like suicide. It would help this year if we could sign a bunch of guys, get their cap hit way down. But when their cap hits go up, that would be trouble. I mean, I'm not telling Shane and all these guys absolutely nothing, but hopefully we get something done. But Andrew Thomas, that'd be fantastic. Now, the thing is, where are we at here? Okay, the Giants cap hit 22. All right, so in 2024, okay, as of right now, okay, I mean, they got 32 guys signed, of course. Obviously Leonard Williams is not one of them. Adoree Jackson isn't one. We got a bunch of guys. Obviously Saquon's not one of them. But as of right now, the adjusted cap salary cap, they got 235. I think it's going to be a little higher than that. The Giants have about, says as of right now by Spot Track, they have $78 million in cap money right now. But as I said, that doesn't include a Saquon, right? Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad, right? Yeah, that doesn't include Dexter Lawrence either. So if you start throwing, right, I mean, we got 78 million, 78 and a half. I mean, give or take. Okay, this is Spot Track. If I go to over the cap, they'll have the Giants with a different number. But as I said, Dexter Lawrence's number is not in there. Okay, and if we sign Saquon long term, he's not in there. So you got to figure next year, 20, 30 million. That's going to come out just with those two guys. So. But we got 32 guys signed to the roster next year. Okay. And we got some money. We do have some money. Okay. So that's good. But I mean, that was kind of like one of like the no-brainers of the century. I mean, it's like picking up Sexy Dexy's 5th-year option, picking up Saquon's 5th-year option, picking up Andrew Thomas's 5th-year option. So he'll make him $14 million. So I mean, obviously, that's going to go way up when they sign him to a nice deal. That's going to go way up. I mean, he'll be well into the 20s. You figure, he'll be in the 20s. Sexy Dexy, in the 20s. But then this is the thing: you got to start thinking, having all those low draft picks, but picking correctly. Okay, hopefully with Evan Neal, Kayvon, Andrew, right, Daniel Jones. Picking correctly, but now all of a sudden you're going to start having a bunch of guys making 20 million plus on the roster, and it's going to get expensive. So, but then finally we got the last. Apparently, this is what all this stuff goes on behind the scenes, like in the draft room. I mean, they got to have, plan A, plan B, plan C, plan all the way on down the line. Okay. In the war room, shall they say? So apparently the Bills, okay, Bean and Shane, kind of like a little draft day kind of trade thing kind of going on, which never came to fruition because all the cornerbacks and the wide receivers just started coming off the board, and Shane kind of got a little tense, started panicking a little bit. He had to get his guy or get a guy. So instead of him like jumping back, I guess he was thinking maybe there might be a couple more cornerbacks still left on the board. Maybe Addison and Flowers might still be left on the board, so he could slide down a couple spots, still get a guy, okay, and the Bills could jump up in front of the Cowboys and get a tight end because the Cowboys lost Schultz, okay, so they got Schoonmaker, I think it's Schoonmaker, that's how you pronounce his name. So they got themselves a tight end anyway, but the Bills want to jump in front of them, okay, and get Kincaid. So, but because Shane. Because the cornerbacks of the 4 wide receivers went boom, boom, and Jigba, Johnston, Flowers, Addison, boom, 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 right? All of a sudden off the board. Shane had to kind of scrap the trade that he had with Bean and the Bills, and he had to jump up just to one spot, okay, and make sure that he wound up getting Banks, which he wound up doing. So it wound up working out good for both teams. Actually, all 3. Why? Well, because Jacksonville, they moved back twice. So they got extra draft capital. It worked out great for them. Okay. Buffalo moved up, okay, in front of the Cowboys, got themselves their tight end. I guess they wanted a little bit of an upgrade over Dawson Knox, which they got with Kincaid. So, another weapon for Mr. Allen. Okay. It worked out great. And it worked out great for the Giants because the Giants just moved up one spot. Gave up 2 picks, a 5th and a 7th, but we got ourselves Banks. Okay. But that's the one thing is you got to look is that when, especially picking 25th, I mean, you got to have all kinds of, you got to have plan A. Well, if these guys come off the board, we got to go to plan B. If these 2 guys and if somebody jumps in front of us and grabs this, we got to go to plan C. If we got to jump, if we're jumping back to here, what's plan D? We got to plan E. You know what I mean? Right. So we got to, You have all kinds of stuff. Now, the way the Giants usually were picking, they're picking in the top 10. You can kind of come up with some kind of, okay, we got to figure out that we're going to get, one of these 3 or 4 guys, one of these 3 are at least guaranteed to fall to us, especially in a year when there's quarterbacks being taken. Okay, so if you're in the top 10 and there's probably going to be at least 3 quarterbacks taken, there's 3 guys right off the board, especially if you're not looking for a quarterback, right? So you can kind of figure out, you have a good idea of who might be there, all right? Especially when the Giants were picking number 2. If you had no inkling about falling back, people apparently were calling Gettleman, but I guess, I don't know. I guess he wanted all their draft picks and all their firstborn and stuff like that just to move back a couple of spots. So whatever. But, when the Giants were picking in the top 10 all the time, you can, like last year, picking number 5, you kind of had some idea, well, there's a good chance Kayvon might be there, or, Sauce Gardner might be there. Unfortunately, the Jets took care of that. But, then it's like, we could use a tackle. Well, what tackle do we want? So you can kind of figure it out. When you're picking 25, I mean, my God. I mean, the way things were falling, I mean, 2 running backs taken in the 2 running backs, as I said this in my video last time, more running backs were taken in the top, 15 picks than cornerbacks and wide receivers combined. I mean, I'm like, good old Lions, I think, could have gotten the running back in the second round, and for some reason they want to take him in the first round. So it is what it is. But I said, you got to have all kinds of plans, especially drafting. So everything worked out fine for everybody. I think hopefully the Cowboys got screwed because somebody jumped in front of them, right, and took a tight end. Right. But that happens to every team. But the one thing, in the first round, right, the Giants, we're getting closer. And I said this in my video, I think last time, we're getting closer. I don't think we're knocking on the Super Bowl door yet. I still think maybe that the 49ers going to be a good team, right? The Eagles going to be a good team. The Cowboys going to be a good team. But, But you know what? I don't think I'd rather have it any other way. Because when you wind up beating those teams, when you wind up winning the division, it's like, unlike the way it was a couple of years ago when Judge was there, we were almost 6-10 and almost won the division. It would have been like, okay, that's cool, but we suck. Yeah, we're 6-10 and we suck. We wanted to, but now you beat the Eagles. I mean, you're freaking partying like it's 1999. You beat the Cat. If you can beat them once or twice, or beat them each team one time, or if you can win the division, we're partying. Now it's really something, right? But I said the Giants, you got to give them I'd say at least another year or so, right, before we're knocking on maybe the division door where we'll maybe got a really good shot at winning it. But we're getting close though. So when there's somebody there, don't sit there. Oh, okay, yeah, they're going to fall to us. Yeah, nobody's going to jump in front of us and grit. No, As I said, I did this. I think the cutthroat, right? Everybody's singing "Kumbaya," holding hands and talking nice and all that on the phone. But you're there to win some freaking football games. You're there to win the Super Bowl. You do whatever you got to do to get that player. If you got to jump up one spot and give up a 5th round pick and a 7th to get what you think, okay, not what Mel Kiper Jr. thinks or what CBS Sports or what PFF thinks, or what you think is your cornerback, okay, that's somebody you think you can roll with for years to come, right? You go get the guy. Don't if there was 5 cornerbacks falling to the Giants and they were happy with all 5 of them, well, then you just stay put. Okay, well, if somebody wants to jump up in front of Craig, okay, we'll go. You take that guy. Okay, we'll take this guy. We're happy with this guy, and we keep our draft picks. Okay, maybe we can use them for a later round to jump off if we want, but that wasn't the situation. Apparently, they didn't like I guess maybe didn't want Porter Jr. Maybe, I guess. So other than that, so with Banks and Porter, all the wide receivers were gone. All the other cornerbacks were gone. who else was there? I guess they didn't have that high of a grade on any of the linebackers, any of the defensive linemen, any of the edge rushers. I guess, none of the centers, right? Center, the second round. See, there they lucked out. Michael Schmitz fell to him. And I said, the one thing that had me, I was like, actually almost the rest of my hair fell out. When the Bears jumped in front of the Giants, you jump in front of the Giants for a reason. And I'm like, man, I bet you when basically pretty much the best pure center. I'm not saying the guy's going to be a Hall of Famer or not like that, but, he's pretty good. Man. When they jump in front of you, there's a reason why. So unless they tried to jump, unless they wanted to trade with the Giants and the Giants didn't want to trade back to them or something, I don't know. But I thought when the Bears jumped in front of the Giants in the second round, they were going to take Michael Schmitz, but that didn't wind up happening. So Schmitz fell to us. Now, if he got picked by the Bears, I wonder what the Giants were going to do. I know Whippler was still there, but I was kind of wondering what the Giants would have picked if Schmitz wasn't there. But that is for another day. But when you're getting close and you only need like another 3, 4, 5, 6 or so guys or whatever, and one of you guys is there, you go get them. Don't wait for them to fall to you. First 3 picks, the Giants did really, really well, right? If they had a 4th round pick, they might have done really well there too, but they didn't. We got Hyatt, right? We traded our 3rd. Actually, let's not forget. Right? We got Waller, right? Then we got, then we got Schmitz, we got Hyatt, we got Banks. So we got with our first 4 picks in the 3rd round, we got 4 studs, solid picks, starters, right? So we did really, really good. So it's not forget about, the Waller, right? Really, really did good. So all in all, fantastic. Well, guys, it's been 36 minutes. Terrence, thank you, buddy. I think you're my first. I got to check. I haven't checked in about a week or so, but I think you're first. Terrence, thank you, buddy. Welcome to Saquon. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Good talking to you. And if anybody spends any time watching me, I appreciate it. Thank you. If anybody spends any time watching and replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. I can use all the support I can get, guys. Thank you. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! That didn't sound good. Woo! Oh, yeah. That sounded better.